Hi, I am Parker Weichel, and today we'll be talking about Rick Riordan, the author of the well-known book series, the Percy Jackson series, mainly known as The Lightning Thief. And sorry. So Rick was born in June 5th, 1964 in San Antonio, Texas. His full name is Richard Russell Riordan Jr., and a lot of people get his name wrong, but his family always called their last name Riordan, which I had a hard time dealing with. His wife, Becky Riordan, which I believe is right there, they were married in 1985, and his two sons, Haley and Patrick Riordan. So Riordan attended the University of North Texas to begin with, and then he transferred to the University of Texas in Austin, and he got himself a double major of English and history, which makes a lot of sense because if you look at all his work, it's mainly about history and more importantly like mythology and kind of like the mysterious part of history. One of the big things I love about Riordan from the begin with is that I knew he was a teacher to begin with, and a well-known teacher. He taught for 15 years in English and history at public and private middle schools, mainly in San Francisco and in Texas. This is a picture where he's teaching at St. Mary's Hall, honoring where they honored him for the school's first Master in Teaching award. So like when he was writing his books, he was doing a full-time teaching where he did the Trace Navia, I think is how you pronounce it, books. Which comes in here. So this is like his first books, first like series of books, which was really interesting to me because these are all like very adult-like. They're very like it's about Western like tequila, like seeing a canteen, like your basic Western like books, and I found them really fascinating. When he turned to children's, like he more went to like mythology. So like with the Heroes of Olympus, he went with like the Greek mythology. Egyptian was more with the Egyptian one. It was the Kane Chronicles. Talking about the Ukraine, like basically incorporating like modern day society towards mythology, which is a really fascinating thing because it's like every kid thinks about that. It's like a modern day superhero kind of set. And then lastly, it's like the Norse mythology, which is like the Ireland, like your Thor, your Asgard, which is the man gets chasing the gods of Asgard. One of the big inspirations of his Percy Jackson trilogy was that when he was writing his Trace Navaras books, Rick switched to first started at children's books with the Lightning Thief in the Percy Jackson series when he was tucking in his son, and his son Haley wanted him to read him like a bedtime story, but like a bedtime story for like that wanted Greek mythology, which kind of inspired him and made like this whole trilogy behind it, which I found really cool. Because like it's interesting how they get these crazy ideas, but another fun fact is that he's been writing, like really getting into writing at the 8th grade when he was still in high school, and so it's kind of like evolving to this point. My favorite book from it is actually the sequel to the Lightning Thief, the Sea of Monsters, and the reason I say that one is because it's more about family and about brotherhood. Because in this one, Percy has a brother named Tyson, who's like his half-brother, and he's a Cyclops, and it's kind of like this disgusting like relationship where he doesn't like him because he's like a monster, but then like they get to know each other. So I found it in this passage where later on in the book where Tyson, Annabeth, and Percy were back at Camp Half-Blood, and they're doing a chariot race, and they broke down. And then where are we? Oh, then canvas too. Oh, here we go. And then from this passage I really love was, you asked for Poseidon for me. For a friend, Tyson said, twisting his shirt in his hands. Young Cyclopses grow alone in the streets and learn how to make things out of scrap. Learn to survive. But that's so cruel. He shook his head earnestly. Makes us appreciate blessings, not by greedy, mean, and fat like Philopus. And the reason I like this is because this is like one of the few times where Percy actually shows empathy towards Tyson, and I love that because like, yeah, you may see him as not, and like you may see him as they see his monster, but they have like there's layers to it, and then they kind of get this brotherhood thing. Like it's kind of like you don't choose your family, and I love that because a lot of kids these day and age maybe don't like their siblings, but that's the only sibling they got. That's the only brother they got. Because of this, because of these two books, The Light Thief and The Sea of Monsters, became a huge success, and they became movies. In which a lot of children's books happen, where they became so successful and they want to make a movie adaptation, which happened here. Rick has won tons of awards, but the ones I love to pick out is in 2011 he won the Children's Choice Book Award for Best Author of the Year, and for both The Sea of Monsters and Lightning Thief he won the Mark Twain Award. And then he has a bunch of other awards that represents all his other books, but I just think it exemplifies that he's always working, he's always doing new things, and and it seems like he's really enjoying it, and I think that's why he's such a great author. And these are our references. Thank you.